Boom. Wow, I haven't got the notification for once. It never happens.
It's on.
I mean,
Let the friends
I might as
trickle.
well give our own show a thumbs up.
We're guaranteed to usually have two.
At least.
At least. Because we each have two accounts. We're guaranteed at least four.
At least.
Yeah. And Coles.
5. So,
What's going on? How are things?
things are things. There was a tournament. A Cinderella, if you will.
Oh, good. Well, there's no reason to. Let me just. I'm going to bring it up too, and then there's no reason to wait. We'll just get set up. So we can just get right into it and go from there. Hi, Cole. Hi, Chris. I want to.
You're like editing things pertaining to the show. I'm just like living in my fantasy world.
I took a break. Um, well, other than binging New Japan and catching up on Stardom, it feels weird being caught up on those things. I'm 30 hours into Final Fantasy Rebirth and took a break to play my first. Well, we and you played a game, what, 3 years ago, a fortnight, and we hid in a bush, and it was all right.
Yeah, it's actually a
But
pro strat these days.
so yeah, I don't know if anyone heard of this little game called Fortnite, but it turns out it's fucking amazing. I fucking love it, dude.
Small little game.
My daughter wanted to play it, and she had no one to play with at the time. So I'm like, you know what? Like, we got the PlayStation over here, and I got my shitty computer. So I'm like, well, let me download it real fast. We'll download it on there, and we're having a blast. And then I just like sort of did a single game. Had a little fun doing that. My computer's a little doo doo, but at least that game seems to be able to play on. I think that's what makes it popular. I mean, I think you can even play it on phone, right? Like you can literally play it on anything. So like you can just keep dumbing down the graphics so it plays on my computer. And then we'll get it ready to start proper. We had a late night last night watching a Cinderella, so I got a big old canteen of tea, some Earl Grey to keep me peppy.
Nice.
And I switched to mug root beer for this week. Make sure we're laser focused on the event. Are you wearing loafers,
Yeah.
or is that just
Yeah.
say you got just about everything but a cigar and a brandy?
I could smoke a cigar right now. I, Tampa's like the only city in America that's acceptable anymore. And I can tell you for hours and
Excuse me.
hours about the boring. If you don't live, if you don't live here, it's boring. Isn't it like every city have that shit where it's like, let me tell you about the history of trains, and I'm like, okay. But if I lived in fucking, I don't know, whatever, Cleveland, I'm like, let's go see the train museum.
It's funny. Do you? Well, it is one of those things. Like I live next to Niagara Falls, and then like family comes in and they're like, "You want to go see the falls? It's amazing." I'm like, "I guess so." And the same sort of thing. It's like we go to Pennsylvania. It's like I want to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and get the chocolate and visit the Hershey Museum and this and that. And the locals are like, "You fucking asshole! It's just a candy bar."
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Hawaii probably has that the worst. I can't even imagine like when living in near Niagara Falls and people would be like, people fly here and get married. Why? Go anywhere else.
Uh, it is nice though. We do go down there once or twice a year to not get mugged. Hi, Andrew. Um, Juno, if you don't mind, I'd like to do two intros because some depending on what we do, sometimes it turns into two shows. um, so let's just say it's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Welcome to the Stardom Fan Podcast. I'm Mark.
Yes, you are. I'm Juno.
Hey, buddy. All
Hi.
right, that's one. It's rubbing day, Cole says. So, what do you want to talk about? Is that what your man crush says? So, what do you guys want to talk about? um, then
Dude,
did
wrestling.
you have 100 tabs open, or did you want to sort of humor me and I'll just go through just the results and you just butt in where you want and we can discuss matches here and there or wait to the end and discuss the whole thing. Do you want to work from the top down? What are you thinking?
I just have a Wikipedia open. You said you wanted to go through like all the matches first.
Yeah, well I wanted to do that anyway, so I figured since you're here that could be fun.
Yeah.
Are we gonna no sell Andrew's Utami news?
What?
I don't know. He said there's big news and then he said, let's talk about Utami.
Yeah, we could just talk about Tommy for an hour.
Or it's Tam's birthday bash, right?
Yeah, we could talk about Tommy for an hour.
It usually ends up,
I tell you
"Well,
what,
it's Tam Nakano for heaven's sakes."
they just had a match, Tam and Julia, and if their goal was to never make me want to see them ever wrestle again, then they did a great job.
Well, well, hopefully we never have to see them wrestle again. So that would be alright.
Like I don't understand what happened in that match. Like I love their matches together. Like obviously, like it's part of what made Stardom get as big as it is. But then Julia
It's
became a
actually one
death.
of the first things I've ever seen was the hair match, like, is basically it was our entry. That was, like, Stardom's one of Stardom's best years.
Yeah,
Year we just started to watch, and it was basically, that yeah, that hair match and GI Julia was pretty close to the start.
yeah. She got dropped on the top of her head in a Cinderella tournament on a ring post by Micah and dumped out probably accidentally, and she she got dumped. Julia got dumped on her head, and that was gushing blood, and Micah was the one that was crying. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. I still have that video. That's one of the first things yeah, that was that was insane.
But she used to be like I don't know, a really good wrestler, and then she decided she wanted to. It started when she started fucking around with prominence, and she realized like, hey, this is my new style. I just want to be a deathmatch wrestler, and that sucks. And like,
Yeah,
instead of
Prominence was
having
definitely the downfall.
a good Tam Nakano Julia match, we just got a shitty Julia death match where they just beat the crap out of each other, and Tam's face literally blew up like the size of a football. It was
No,
awful,
usually it just melts.
just terrible.
All right. Well, we can go through the entire bracket, just the results.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch any of these breaking news from Andrew on the people leaving, or do you want me to go right through it?
I don't know about any of that news. So
Yeah. Do you
if it
want to know?
do
I
I
mean, I don't even care until it happens. Nor honestly do I really care. I mean, to everyone, best wishes to him. And if Yuzuki is leaving, that just means Kurawa can be Stardom fans' new favorite rookie.
all dude, all I know is that there's this show happening in Philadelphia. Maybe you've heard of it. Stardom in the Keystone State. They're coming to America, and they're gonna have every single Joshi, not just in Stardom, but like the entire country of Japan and anyone related to Joshi wrestling, Mariah May, Zaya Brookside, Fucking
how cool is that?
fucking Capital Saki, Ram Kachao. Literally everyone who's ever wrestled in a Joshi ring, except the one wrestler that I actually want to pay money to see. But I'm just gonna hold out hope that Utami is a surprise participant.
Hey, you'll be all right. The return of Club Venus is worth the price of admission alone.
Dude, I wanted to see one wrestler. That's it. I'll let you guys guess
I
which
thought you were coming
wrestler.
home with a kid with a kitty, not a kid. Oh God, with a cat, kitty, a Starlight Kid plushie.
A Starlight Kid plushie. Yes, I'm coming home with the kitty.
I thought that was worth the price of admission. All right, let me take another sip of tea here, and then we'll go through some results and go from there. And really, I don't. You know what?
So,
I like where Stardom is, anyways. I don't
oh,
really care who's leaving.
if Tokyo Sports reports it, does it become true?
I think
Oops.
one of these guys in the chat said it was on Stardom's official site. I haven't been on their news site in
Oh, really?
a couple days.
Let me check that out. I was gonna say
Sure.
if it comes out on Tokyo Sports, I usually believe it. Notice
Well,
of
yeah, they're a
departure of
pretty big deal.
Stardom players. Usually, I check the news before. Um, yeah. So we'd like to inform you that the following players will leave Stardom due to their contracts expiring on March 31st, 2024. So close. Why couldn't it be fucking April, whatever, 5th, 2024? Yuzuki. Oh no. Your favorite
That's why
rookie.
that's why I said, well, now officially,
Who?
without needing to have a demotion, I'm not even mad at that. That means Kiss 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 Kurara can scoot right up to Stardom fans' favorite rookie, uncontested.
What did you just say?
Kiss Kiss Kiss.
金沢の皆さん大好きチュッチュッチュ
Is it choo choo choo?
Choo choo choo. Your favorite rookie's leaving. Mirai is leaving.
That's all
My
right.
my Sakurai,
That's all right.
Julia,
That's all right.
and Utami Hayashishida.
Eh, they they always come back. Isn't that what they say? Maybe maybe she'll give you a reason to watch AEW.
So welcome to Joshi Fan
Nah, don't be silly.
podcast.
I'm going down with the ship. Stardom's fine. They've been selling so many tickets. Nobody cares. Although they do gotta get rid of those tag belts or do something with it. Okada left, and they still had the trios belt. So now they're just doing a like a 1 day tournament or something for the for the belts. They're like, I guess sometimes you just leave and be like, fuck it. Who cares? If just threw my title in the trash.
Oh well, now I respect their president Okada a lot more. It's like, oh, you want to poach Julia? That's fine. You want Yuzuki? I'm like, okay, she's a rookie. Mirai, she is wrestling like her shoulder's gonna fall off. She's got a year left into at most wrestling the way she does. My Sakurai. Well, now you're starting to piss me off. Oh, you're going after our fucking ace Utami? Yeah, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, fuck off. Or like, there's a taxi waiting outside. Your shit's all in the trunk. Bye bye.
Well, I mean, see what happens. I mean, time will tell, right? I mean, if Stardom's still the big company, I mean, basically they're the second biggest company in all of Japan, behind New Japan, anyways. So, I mean, unless some this crazy old man has one hell of a bankroll, I mean, there's a good chance these girls will either be back or some American company will pick them up. I'm not too worried about it. There'll be some homecoming in a couple years.
Dude, that's not even fair to. So, what is Yuzuki gonna have to face Utami for the world title? That's not very fair.
They're just gonna have Julia and I just feel bad for Utami. I was just hoping that the crazy old man was gonna build a wrestling company around Julia and Nene. I thought that was gonna be the recipe for success.
So,
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. What are you gonna do, really? You know, people come, people go.
I think we're
It happens.
I, I'm Rossi fan. This is the Rossi fan podcast now.
Well, you can grab the audio file. Does he even have, other than speculation? Has the rubber hit the road yet on whatever's happening?
Other than I read that off of. They're definitely right. I read that off of their website, the Stardom News website.
Well, that people are leaving.
Yeah,
No one actually knows where anybody's going.
to Rossi's new company.
What's that called?
I
Where's he
don't.
wrestling? I know we don't know anything.
I don't
I don't
know.
even know that he has a company. He's probably wrestling in his backyard.
He's probably a really nice backyard.
He's probably got a hot tub with Nene hanging out. Hey, at least we have the Hanan sisters. We can, and plus the rookies. Stardom's fine.
Hey,
I'll tell you what.
you say you
I
wouldn't
was.
get people. You say you wouldn't get into the hot tub until someone says, "Hey, jump on in. The
Oh,
water's
I'd always get
warm."
in the hot tub.
Of course, you get into the hot tub.
We always get in the hot tub.
And then there's like, here's some champagne. You're like, whoa, I'm feeling dizzy. It's so hot in here.
Andrew's full of ideas. They did want to do
And
an
then all of a
NXT
sudden,
Japan pre-pandemic. I
Nene
can see
says
that.
she wants to interject you with some passion.
Oh no, no.
And you
Well, that
say,
sounds like dirty water.
well, who couldn't use more passion? Everything sounds better in a hot tub.
Everyone's always one drink away from hopping in the hot tub with Nene.
So now Utami is gonna be in this new wrestling company and still beating up on bitches in Stardom with Saya.
NXT Japan. That's what Richardson says. Which
I think that's called Tokyo Joshi.
I don't think anyone's doing anything with NXT. They wanted to get their mitts in Japan like right before the pandemic hit. From what I understand, the pandemic almost saved Stardom. Like I think they were working on some kind of deal or doing something. I mean, why make the facts right? Why let facts get in the way of a good story? But I
Um,
want to believe that's what I remember. Remember.
yeah, there's like reports of like Rossi going to WWE, and and that might have just been to try to get some like good talent. I don't know. Seemed weird. Although WWE, oh man, they got new management. Maybe with new owners, like they don't have the same beefs because WWE definitely tried to buy Stardom, and then he sold it for a lot less money, obviously, to Bushiroad. He's like, nah, I'm not selling to you guys.
Yeah.
so
We'll see what happens.
so if
I
they're
mean, if WWE, if they do end up with a WWE payroll, it's going to be, it'll make it a lot more interesting. That's for sure. 'Cause if they do anything like they did in Europe, they'll just buy everybody's contract, whether they're using them or not, just to close everybody else down.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, whatever. We'll roll with the punches. But right now, I love my Stardom, and everything's been going good.
dude, why even bother going to Philly at this point? I don't even I don't even have Stardom fan friends that want to meet up. I'm like, hey, we're gonna be in the same building. Want to meet up? And it's just like crickets. I'm like, oh, I guess not. Lame.
Maybe they don't like you.
I guess.
Oh, that can't be true. Cole, come on. Meet up with Juno, you jerk. Enigma, aren't you going with Hendrix? Don't you guys like live in Tampa? There's a quack and everything. I heard him quack.
It's a fake quack.
Fake quack. All right. Well, do you wanna after? Well, that was the news. Uh, what I do? I woke him up.
大好きチュチュチュ
As long as we have the Cosmic Angels, everything is going to be a-okay.
Dude, if Seriano ends up doing that, kiss, 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 you know it's gonna get played on this show 1,000 times an episode.
I'm sort of surprised they haven't said Mayu's name yet. You know what?
Mayu,
It's at least they're
because
putting it right on Front Street. They're like,
Mayu
hey, these
has
people
a
are leaving. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's
well,
wrestling.
it's kind of their fault for having everyone. I think Mayu's literally the only one where they make a special case. It's Mayu or it's Stardom's fault for doing like 1 year contracts that all expire on the same date. That's their dumbass fault. Although I guess when you don't
Yeah.
have, I guess when you don't have real competition, there's no need to do that.
Yeah, it might have just been the way they always did things. You know what? And another reason to not be worried. I'm going to tell you, I was worried. Like, I didn't watch much New Japan. Uh, and until the New Japan Cup, I just loved it. I'm back in on that. And the only reason I bring that up is because they lost Okada, which I would have thought was a big deal. I mean, what am I going to do without watching 55-minute boring matches on once a month?
Japanese Cody.
Yeah.
So he does.
So I mean,
He comes out when it's, he looks exactly like Cody Rhodes. He's their new Cody. Comes out with the
oh,
bleach blonde hair and like the suits. He's got the chuckle buddies behind him like Cody used to have. He's like 2018 Cody Rhodes.
is that, oh, on AEW.
Yeah, he comes out with the Bucks behind him. He's in the suit.
Oh, that's probably entertaining. But I mean, they lose. Who else do they lose? I don't know. Oh yeah, Will Osprey, who I actually like, and Cody or and Okada, like two of the biggest names, arguably. And then they just put on one of the greatest tournaments I've ever seen outside of the Cinderella. So New Japan's going to be fine. Stardom lost, maybe losing their Okada and Utami, but they'll be fine. That just means take the extra money and sign up Saya long term, right?
So well, I assume she's still gonna. How long is Utami gonna hold on to that tag team belt? She's gonna be extra fresh. I can't imagine whatever company she's going to is gonna have as many shows. Her and Saya should hold those tag team titles forever. Then, huh?
Well, I would just wait and find out if any. We should bring up a lineup for the next couple shows and see if they have a main event that's a tag team title match. I can't imagine Utami having or Aphrodite being the tag team champions for more than 10 days.
Why not? Who's gonna beat him? Who can beat him?
I don't know if they're gonna want someone to leave with their belt though.
Well, that's too bad. They have to find a big bad bitch who can beat up on Utami. Good luck with that.
It's another thing I'm not too awful
Charlotte's
worried
on the
about
shelf.
either. Yeah.
They're gonna
There you go.
sign. Are they gonna
That could be
bring
the
in?
dream team.
They're gonna bring in Rhea Ripley.
FWC Chris. There we go. Yeah.
So you want to run? Oh, Wikipedia's got it great. You want to run through these results
Well,
first?
yeah, I wanted to do it for the podcast anyways, and I figured if nothing else, it'll spark conversation. So I was literally gonna say how I usually start it, so I don't have to edit it out later. This is Mark with Juno for StardomFan.com with just the results, plus probably a little commentary on the entire Cinderella 2024 tournament. Uh, First, just want to give the first round buys. Mirai had a buy. Suzuki had a buy. Wakasukiyama, Hazuki, Mei Sierra, Ami Saroi, Azumi, and Mai Sakurai all had buys in this tournament. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That was a crapshoot on how that happened, but we're just gonna basically go left to right, um, and just do just the results. And if you have anything you want to touch on, please, by all means. Um, but the first match we have is Hanan, and in round one is Hanan versus Hanako, and Hanako. Boy, it's funny seeing these times. So that was a 6 minute and 30 minute, 6 minute and 30 second match where Hanan submits Hanako, and I feel like I thought it's one of those matches where it seemed like a 10-minute beatdown where Hanako just whooped her ass. But yeah, I don't have any notes, so it's all going on memory. It's like we have watched so much wrestling. This is a whole 2 weeks ago at this point, right? The second match in round one, Starlight Kid versus Stardom fans, the artist formerly known as Stardom fans' favorite rookie, Yuzuki. Starlight gets the pin. Starlight gets the pin. We got Juno's in charge of the morning zoo. Uh, Starlight gets the pin at 8 minutes, which ends up being the long. So Starlight and Yuzuki ends up being actually the longest match in round one. Xena versus the returning Momo Kogo. Momo Kogo gets her ass whooped, and then ends up with an injury again. If I recall, at 3 minutes and 39 seconds is all that took.
Yeah, you do not want to fight Xena. She'll kick your ass with a smile, pretty smile on her face.
Yeah, yeah, she sure as
She
hell
doesn't even break a
well, and she
sweat.
sure as hell did. No, no, she didn't. That's for sure. Koguma and Ruaka. Uh, Ru- Koguma advances when Ruaka cheats, hits Koguma with everything, and then punches the ref in the face. That's about what happened, right?
Yeah.
Saki Kashima pins Saya Ida.
Is that an
Nope,
ups?
wrong.
Is that an upset?
Did I say that wrong? I said that wrong. Saida pins Saki Kashima. That's the upset.
There you go.
4 minutes and 42 7 seconds. Yuna Mizumori in another upset. Our original favorite to win the entire thing. Yuna Mizumori beats Lady C. 5 minutes with a pin. Oh, you know what? I got it wrong. The Ruaka Koguma thing. Ruaka beats Koguma by dumping her over the top rope. If I remember, she hit her over the top rope, and then the ref was distracted, so Momo came and took Koguma's legs out with a baseball bat, which seemed to be the play of the tournament for Ruaka. I'm sure Ruaka's box got involved. That big old box just being swung around all willy nilly like, very unladylike. Uh, Back to round one. I That's why I got confused because Natsuko Tora ends up losing to Sayaka Kurara, Stardom fans' new favorite rookie.
金沢の皆さん大好きチュンチュンチュンかわいい
With a DQ at 3 minutes, this is the match where Tora cheated and Baraka's box probably came back. There's baseball bats, and then Tora punched the ref in the face, and Sayaka Kurara gets a win in her first tournament, right? Fantastic. Miyu Amasaki closes out round one by beating Rana Yagami easily.
Easily.
Juno on to round two. Hanan goes up against a fresh Mirai. And this is like the next day, I believe. Uh, so Hanan gets her butt kicked by Hanako. The next day goes up against the reigning, defending, undefeated Cinderella, two-time champion, Mirai. And Hanan pins her. And this I don't, when we're all done we can go over it, but I think this was still the best match of the entire tournament, by far. Mariah Hanan was fantastic. uh and you could tell by the time they were done, Hanan was happy to win. She was crying, Mariah was crying, and it's not going to be the first time Mariah cries after a Hanan match.
True.
Next, the next match is actually really scary because it's Starlight Kid versus a well-rested Suzu Suzuki. And this like is one of those matches where we're just like, oh man, please Starlight, please Starlight, please Starlight. And after 12 minutes and 36 seconds, yes, Star- Starlight Kid eliminates Suzu by dumping her over the top rope.
No, she doesn't dump her over the top rope. She's sitting on the apron. She gives her a baseball slide and kicks her to the front row like trash.
I was gonna say something about trash, but I was trying to say classy. But I do like that.
And that is actually the second person that got a first round bye and then lost their first match. Will that continue?
Waka
Yes.
Tsukiyama gets a bye, and she goes up against Xena. 5 minutes and 32 seconds later, Xena beats Waka. So far, if you got a first round bye, you're in a lot of trouble. It's almost like last year's baseball playoffs.
White boy.
Ruaka versus Zuki, and Hazuki coming off a bye also loses. She gets eliminated by the top rope. More shenanigans, Ruaka's box, baseball bats, the awesome Oedo tie stuff that we all know and love. Mi Sierra with a first round bye goes up against Saya Ida, and she wins. So the curse is over. The first round bye curse is over. Mi Sierra beats Saya Ida. Next up, we have Ami Soroi up against Yuna Mizumori, and this is probably like what on this half of the bracket, like Ami, needs to keep going, right? So Ami beats the pineapple handily. We have Azumi versus Sayaka Kurara. Azumi wins. Kurara had a moment or two, but Kurara went through a rookie mistake. She went through the spear. Azumi jumped over her, sushi'd her, Azumi stuff. My Sakurai.
皆さん大好きチュチュチュ
Yeah, well, Stardom fans' favorite rookie almost got it. Miyu Amasaki, our
Yes.
favorite pineapple, beats My Sakurai.
That makes sense
And
to
that
nobody who listens to this.
well, most of our there's this one time Miyu Amasaki wore pineapple glasses, and now it makes sense to you. Pineapple Miyu.
Sure.
In the is there more to say?
Oh,
I think that's it.
I thought that was because of our friend, our Discord friends.
Oh yeah, well Cole is the pineapple Miyu, but I thought I'm pretty sure it all came from the pineapple glasses. Unless he photoshopped that. Cole, did you photoshop that? Dirty, dirty. We have the quarterfinals. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and at this point, I mean, uh, the only person you really don't want to see winning is Azumi, right? But we have Hanan versus Starlight Kid. Any one of these two going on is fine by me. It's a fine match, not as good as Hanan versus Mariah, in my opinion, but Hanan
Well, yeah,
pins
because
Starlight.
Starlight lost. Of course, it's not as good.
Xena up against Ruaka, more shenanigans. Ruaka and her box makes it to the semifinals versus Hanan.
Yeah, if she
Misi, yeah,
Zeta should have won, and then it would have been the most impressive Cinderella tournament ever if she would have had to made her way through big ass Hanako, big ass Mirai, Starlight Kid, Xena. Oh, that would have been a lineup. Instead, she got well. I'll get to it. She was Raka. I guess you could argue that it's more impressive having to have like an 8-on-1 when all of Oedo Tai jumps in.
that that is true. Hanan's trip to the semifinals and then finals is definitely the hardest road that anyone took. Xena would have Xena, she'll end up fighting Xena sooner or later, wouldn't you think? Because that would be a fun freaking match.
Xena would have crushed her.
And then Hanan would have just found a way to roll her up. That's what she does. She just finds a way. In the quarterfinals on the other side, May Sierra versus Ami Soroi. And Ami pins the high speed champion. That is fantastic. That oh no, she top rope elimination. Some of these I don't remember exactly how the top ropes happened. Did she powerbomb her to the front row? Is that the story we want to go with? Because I
Yeah.
don't exactly remember. Yeah. Zumi versus Miyu. This is where it gets scary.
All right.
This is
Uh,
Zumi gets by Miyu Amasaki, and Azumi makes it to the semifinals. Semifinals are Hanan and Ruaka versus Ami and Azumi. And these are both in one show, which is sort of fun too. They did the semifinals, and then after a little bit of rest, a couple matches, they ended up doing the finals. And I spent the entire day because I knew we were going to watch the show last night. I spent the entire day yesterday just convincing myself that I would be okay. And then I did convince myself after a little meditation and all that that if Ruaka and her box won, that would be fine. I actually convinced I was like, it's been a while since a bad guy won, right? I could see Ruaka wearing the dress, carrying the box. It only makes sense.
should have
I
a
was
place
ready
for a
for it.
trophy.
Absolutely right, but that wasn't going to happen because Hanan beats Ruaka and she got her ass kicked. There is an honorable mention. Oh, wait, see, that's the thing. A Wado tie, they keep they rush out like House of Torture style, right? They rush out and they're always cheating and beating them up. But finally, someone stepped up and not the whole Stars team, but they didn't need the whole Stars team. Hazuki comes out, clears house, dives through everyone, knocks down a Wado tile like a bunch of bowling pins. Now it's finally one on one Ruaka and Hanan. I mean, and Hanan at one point did get like Ruaka's box right to the face. So I mean, she was definitely down and out for a minute. Hazuki did, have the assist counter the cheating, but then when it ended up being one on one again, Hanan gets the pin on Ruaka. Juno in the other semifinal match, it's Ami and Azumi, and I am terrified. Well, one, I'm like the only match that makes sense for the finals at this point is if Hanan versus Ami. They love hitting each other, so they like we just need to see this because I don't think we ever like have other than tag matches. So Ami and Azumi, and it was close. Ami even kicked out of an Azumi sushi or 15 because Ami's just way better than Azumi, right?
Hmm.
11 minutes 35 seconds. Ami pins Azumi, and in the finals of the Cinderella 2024, we have Hanan and Ami. What do you think about the tournament so far? Amazing, right?
Um, I don't know. It definitely flew by. That's for sure. Which I don't know why I'm complaining. I used to like it when it was one night. So, but it's like it was a lot of wrestling. And then you look at the times and you're like, what is the longest match? Is the longest match the final? No, Ami versus Azumi.
Yeah.
11:35 is the longest match. Wow.
They do a lot of stuff for those 11 minutes, I tell you. In the finals, and we have Hanan versus Ami. At this point, we're going into it. We're about to watch it, and I say I'm not going to be mad either way. I prefer Hanan, but I'm not going to be mad. And if I can find the clip to put in post right here, I'll put. I bet you Hanan wins. Actually, I might have never said that. I probably had a cop out. I think I actually said the winner of last week that the winner, no, 2 weeks ago when we did it, I probably said the winner of Mariah and Hanan will win the whole thing. Which it doesn't take a genius to say that. I should have just stuck to my guns and said Hanan's going to win, but I sort of wanted Mariah to three-peat.
So when you pick two Cinderella winners, like, you just double your odds.
Yeah, yeah. Not only that, but when you pick the two favorites, right? We have Hanan and Ami. Hanan wins. That's it. What do you say? This was my second favorite match of the tournament. Actually, it was close. They hawked up a couple times. There were suplexes. It was a fine pro wrestling match. I don't think it was Hanan and Mirai, amazing, but it was like close to amazing. And Hanan wins. Hanan's the Cinderella. She comes out. She says she's interested in the white belt. Hanan or Mariah, look at me. I'm a Cinderella. Backstage, she says she's gonna go for the white belt. Oh, this she says 2024 is the year of Hanan.
Yeah.
There's only one problem.
She's not very
Like,
good.
no,
Oh,
she's amazing. The bigger problem is the white belt champion just happens to be Sariano. I th- I think Hanan would have a better chance of being the red belt champ. She should, she said, Micah, I challenge you. I mean, that's happened like 3 times in history, right? That Cinderella challenging for the red belt.
yeah. If I find, I want to find like the winners or see. The stats are crazy. It's like 20%. Like people mostly fail, which kind of makes sense. Like you win this tournament. It's not like Money in the Bank where you win this match and then like you could just like roll somebody up after they've had a match or whatever. Like it's kind of a long shot. You're winning this tournament because you're not even on anyone's radar to be in the main event. So you probably don't have a good shot of beating one of the top champions. It would be an upset.
No, I like they do that too. New Japan does that with their New Japan Cup. They do that here. I actually even like even their big tournament because we talked about it a lot last year. That the 5-star winner. I mean, lately they have, but if you add them all up, like it's the odds of winning your challenge as the 5-star winner. On like chances are you're not going to win either. So I like the fact that it's not guaranteed. Unlike like you said, the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, like
Well,
usually the odds are in your favor that you're going to win.
actually, I don't know I should look up the Royal Rumble stats. Royal Rumble, theoretically, you're the best out of like the entire roster.
Or you came out last.
27th.
Fair enough.
Dude, there's more people. It's like the numbers are nuts. There's more people that have won, like, because they play the same video every year, basically, with all the stats. It's like, for some reason, coming out last is one of the worst numbers. It's like number two. Number two has won a couple times. Number 27 has won like the most for some reason.
I like how they do that. Number 2 has won a few times, but there's only been like
Well,
what
technically,
a
number
few people
two.
that have won number 1. But if you
Yeah,
think about it, number 1 and number 2 are there at the same time. That's bullshit. Give number 2 a little bit of credit.
yeah. There's something. I don't know. Maybe you got a little chip on your shoulder at number two. You're like, why wasn't I number one?
Yeah, right. Just because he came out first, when the bell rang, we were both in the ring. 1A, 1B.
Yeah, at that point, fuck this, fuck this guy, fuck this company. It's like, why couldn't if I'm gonna have to wrestle first, why couldn't I be number one?
Oh, welcome to the Stardom Fan Podcast. That was the take of the night, and it was for the Royal Rumble. I like that. Um, oh, look at this. Hi, Raymond. I liked rocking our boxes tournament. Hi, Enigma. We did say Izumi 3 times. We said what a wonderful tournament she
Oh,
had.
yep,
She
definitely right.
was really close, and it was an upset that she didn't make it.
12:36. I didn't read that one. Yeah, Suzu and Starlight Kid had the longest match, which is crazy. 12:36. Still
Oh well,
not.
that was the bathroom break, so I only saw 5 minutes of it, so I didn't realize.
That's still like not even longer than most of their high speed matches.
Oh, did I touch on that? Well, what do you think? Well, real quick, then I'll ask you. What did you think about the? Now that we talk about, it, what do you think about the tournament as a whole? Where do you think? Like this was sort of some rookie class in here that was really good. I think Ami beating May Sierra if she's interested. I mean, you beat the champion. Ami should get a high speed chance. She could probably work fast for the first minute, which is all you really need to do.
She beat the supposed greatest high speed wrestler ever in 11 minutes. Azumi. And
Yeah,
before
she beat
that, she beat the high speed champion. And before that, she turned a pineapple into pineapple juice. Yeah, I mean, the only rule I don't think there's a weight limit. I think the only rule is like the time limits are halved, so it's like high speed. You have to move twice as fast. There's nothing like let all these little gnats try to run around the ring to do something to her, and then or Hanako. Like Hanako has been turned into King Kong, which just screams on the top rope. Have her be the
How
high
cool is
speed
that?
champ. Like have all these little girls try to run into her and see. Like she'll just stand there in the middle of the ring, swatting them away.
That's cool. That was almost was great about
That's my take. That like you Stardom can just have that for free. Like you don't have to have these tiny little. Like you can put a giant monster as a high speed champ every once in a while.
that's what was fun about Kashima being high speed champion. It was almost like an oxymoron.
Well, she did.
But what did you think in general? I mean, because I mean, I was so pumped going into it. I was saying this is my favorite time of the year, other than Shimi season, and quite frankly, I don't think it disappointed. I was happy. Uh, I liked all of it. I even got into Raka's box. I like Natsuko losing because she was disqualified. That's good stuff.
I mean, I can rant and rave, but it's not really important unless you want me to.
Well, nothing's important, Juno.
Well
We're
then,
having a dialogue. It's entertainment, not important. We come to Stardom fan to get away from all the important stuff in the world.
okay. Well, if nothing's important, then we should. I don't even know what we're talking about. I was gonna like do a rant. I'm like, I got it down on like paper. I'm like, let me get my like thoughts out on paper, and I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth it.
You took the time to put it on paper. That's fine. I'm not going to make you do something you don't want to do. Well, that was that. We had some news. We had the tournament. I'd be interested in seeing where we go from here. The next couple shows coming up. Checking the schedule.
I tell you what, some of those
What's
shows
up?
had me wishing for I don't even know what do you want to call it. Uh, let's call it Rossi fans, whatever his new company's gonna be. Some of these shows had me wishing for Rossi's new company before I knew my favorite wrestler was jumping ship.
Oh,
All right, fuck it. I'll talk about it. So they actually got the 2 nights before the final up on time on their website, which
oh, it was awesome.
usually you get
Yeah,
stuff spoiled because they have the pay-per-view that's live, but they don't put the shows before it until like a week after because they're just so far behind.
that
So
has happened in the past, and it is worth. I am glad you brought that up. We spend so much time bitching about their upload schedule. That's really the biggest complaint I normally have is their website that I pay for and subscribe to being a horrible service. But this past weekend, it wasn't.
um yeah, I mean if your only thing you care about is getting the shows up and watching them on time, which what else would you care about? Then yeah, it was awesome. Um but I don't feel like we should have to I don't want to it just sounds like an abused spouse. Like you shouldn't have to settle for like to get stuff uploaded at a normal actual to get stuff uploaded when it's supposed to be uploaded. You have to cut the quality of your stuff that you've been uploading the same way for years and years and years to like absolute shit. So
What was shittier about the quality? I just didn't notice it, but I might have just I was too busy having fun.
now
There's some things I just don't notice.
I'm not saying I don't like the extra camera angle because I've always said like, hey, I want to be able to see what's going on the outside. So having a camera all the way up in the bleachers, fine. That's usually they have these buildings that have 6 stories for some reason and they're all out on the floor. So cool. Get a camera up there. But they have this camera way up in the back of the bleachers. Everyone is like the size of a pinprick where they have to zoom in these cameras so the quality is terrible. Like every time they move the camera, it's like shaky because it's like someone filming with their phone. There was only like one. There's actually 2 camera angles, but really one because they were both next to each other. They couldn't get a guy on the floor. They were both next to each other, so one of them just stayed standing still, and the other one tried to zoom in. They were both terrible. Um, this is a specific complaint just about like how they do shows, where I was just thinking, do I ever need to watch a match that has someone like Lady C or Walk in it? It's like, or some of these rookies, like, yeah, their team's gonna lose. Skip that on the like. What's even the point of those matches? You can just skip those. Also,
I usually find them entertaining, and sometimes when they win, it's special.
yeah, but they don't win, so unless they're facing each other, it's so like I don't even bother with those matches anymore. And unless it's like they're in the main event, but then then the only time it's interesting is when they do like the main event and it's like an 8-person tag and you're like, all right, well, who's gonna lose? Is it gonna be Waka or is it gonna be Lady C? Like you don't know who's gonna lose. It's like, but when they're in their matches, like where it's like just a singles match or a trios, I'm like, those matches are pointless. Like, come on, you can do better. Also, these were branded as Cinderella shows, but the Cinderella matches aren't on last, which is fine. I know it's like a little pet, like I'm just like nitpicking here, but if it definitely does diminish the tournament a little bit, which is fine if they're rebranding it as sort of like this is to like bring up new stars. That's cool. But you would think like what would go on in its place would be something more important, not just a random like 8-person tag match. Also, another pet peeve that was annoying me. Like I want to watch these Cinderella matches and they're like it's like schizophrenia how they're booked where it's like here's a Cinderella match. All right, now here's a Cinderella match. Now wait 3 more matches. Here's another Cinderella match. I'm like, can you just like put them in a block? Like they just felt like regular matches this year for me when like they're just scattered throughout the show. um and if the Cinderella tournament wasn't going to be on last, like you would think when maybe like the Wonder of Stardom champion would maybe be on the main event. Nah, she's just slapped in the middle of the show in an 8-woman tag. Well, maybe the world champion can go on last. It's like, well, no, the world champion can't go on last because she doesn't really have a challenger. Oh, she didn't have a match scheduled actually, and she doesn't really have a challenger because they never really bothered to build up their world title match. Because why would they? It's just their world title. I mean, which is crazy because like Micah and Utami have like a whole crap ton of history, which I could get into, but I'm not going to because Stardom doesn't think it's important enough to tell you what it is. So why should I? So they didn't deem. Oh, that's another thing. Their quality, like to get these shows up, they couldn't take the 2 minutes to. They had Utami and Micah get in the ring and like face to face do a promo, but they didn't feel like they needed to add subtitles. So I'm not gonna look up what that is either because that's not important to Stardom apparently.
I get used to that, and that's
It's,
basically I've been watching Japanese wrestling since 2017, and unless Chris Charlton's happens to be there, which isn't every show, you just sort of deal with the fact that you're watching a show in a different language.
I just I I don't know.
It is
I
a
feel like
different country and a different language.
I feel like they could do better. Like I'm not like saying like, oh wow, they got these shows up before the pay-per-view. Like that's not the bare minimum requirement. Like good job. Like did you have to like it took you having to cut all your especially when I saw people on the apron with cameras. So they literally just said, well, look, I'm sure it takes time to like edit this stuff together. Which I'm not even mad about the camera angles, but other stuff, it's like you could do better. They could do better. Like either you can pay people in production what to get paid to hire the people in production you need to get this stuff like uploaded at like the right times, or you can like update your tour schedule to fix it. Is my opinion.
Well said.
There, I didn't even rage.
No, you had a beautiful editorial. Competition is the key. It just helps all wrestling. WWE, I'm just Andrew said he wishes Rossi the best of luck. WWE sucked until AEW came around.
Well,
and then they were like
I think
and then they
WWE.
became amazing.
Nah, I think WWE sucked until they got a new ownership group.
That's what I meant.
Like, I don't think WWE cares about Like, if you go back and look at their
Really, they
first,
put a show on TV opposite AEW on a show that they had streaming. Of course, they want to put everyone else out of business.
yeah, but it doesn't mean they care. Look at the quality of those shows. Like, if you look back at their when TNA tried to go head to head versus Raw, like you look at the show they did, and it was like a pretty bad Raw. Like, they don't care about like, not they don't care about competition. That's the wrong word. They want you out of business, but they're not like programming to compete against you. It's not that the '90s they definitely were, but nowadays they're so big where they're like, okay. Like, I think they took AEW seriously for a minute when they were like hiring everyone up for like double their salary, and then they saw what the actual program was, and they're like, oh, well, they're not ever gonna compete with us. So now they just like pay who they want to keep, and everyone else they're like, whatever, you can keep Edge.
Yeah, and it's good. I think that's why maybe they're looking at younger talent in AEW. They don't care. They're like, we don't care about or maybe not younger Japanese talent. We haven't some of the audience maybe hasn't seen before. Like, well, everyone's like, who's the next WWE guy? And no one's excited. How do you not get excited about Edge? Edge is awesome.
If you've seen some of the pictures, it's hard to get excited when they can only shoot from like one angle, but they have everyone behind Edge because that's where like it looks the one good camera angle, so it looks like the building's packed. But then when you see like the fan view, it's like I wouldn't get excited either when I'm looking at the back of this guy's head and he's looking off into nothingness, talking to nobody. It's like, get a smaller building. Talk in front of 50 people that are actually like TNA. Like they do super small buildings, but they sound like loud as hell for their pay-per-views.
Yeah, I like these Japanese buildings. They sell out at 900 people for the Cinderella finals, and it was awesome. Just got to put yourself put yourself in the situation where you can sell out.
Yeah, so you said
You
like
said it when we were watching it. You put 50. If you can put 1,500 into Sumo Hall, but the problem is it seats 40,000, and it looks like nobody's there. So just fill up the bingo hall you can fill up.
yeah, it didn't even do 1,000 people, and I'm like, man, this place is packed. It's like it definitely makes a difference, especially
Yeah.
in like Japanese or at least the Bushi Road style filming where they don't really do crowd shots. Like when you watch Wrestle Kingdom, it could very well just be a bingo hall. Like the way they film, it looks exactly the same. It's like it doesn't even matter who's. It's like as long as like the crowd is into it. Um, I just
What
pulled
else
that.
would you like to go over? Otherwise, we could call it a beautiful evening. I feel like we have accomplished a lot. I personally loved every second of the Cinderella. I'm such a mark, I don't notice camera angles. However, I have noticed that WWE's camera angles don't make me dizzy anymore since Dunn isn't there. That's the only camera angle I noticed.
Because you got to
See,
cut.
I'm a weirdo. I just love that Japanese style because New Japan will do that too. They'll be in a place and they'll just have one camera and just sit there. Like they've actually had shows where I don't even think they had anyone manning it. They just would have the hard cam and wrestle. I don't know. It makes you feel like you're there. I'm a weirdo like that. I'll watch the IWTV and be like, oh man,
Because you got to
look at this.
cut the camera back to show that the
There's a little
guy's.
charm.
You got to you got to like use the one. You got to be looking at the guy who's winding up the punch so you can see he's going to punch. Then you got to cut to the side so you can see the punch in motion. Then you got to like
Yeah.
cut to show the other guy like flinching who's going to react to the punch. But we don't actually want to show the punch because these guys don't know how to punch anymore. So now you got to cut back to the other guy. But then you got to cut back to the guy's reaction to the punch. Then you got to cut back to the. It's like, oh my god.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me. That's well. Other than I'm a fan of
Dude,
strong
it
style,
got so
but
bad
I love.
where it got so bad I would count. Like there's like one Bobby Lashley match where I would count like 40 to 50 camera changes in a minute. Like, ugh.
Well, not only that, the camera used to have the camera sell the punches. Like for a strike, they'd shake the camera.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I think it's
like
a
seriously?
happy. I think it's a happy accident where they're trying to film the punches. But yeah, that's I do appreciate that about like New Japan and Stardom, where they just keep the cameras on the wrestlers the whole time. Like, yeah, it's like our job is to film the athletes.
And I rarely see blatant misses. Every now and then, again, there's a phantom kick, maybe, but not too
Nah, I
often.
mean, if you don't know how to throw a good punch or kick, you shouldn't be wrestling in front of fans yet.
Yeah, that's about right.
Dude, we have
What do you have? Anything? Andrew Richardson. What do you have? Super producer number 2.
all we're
He's
missing
got a lot of
is
stuff.
all we're missing is Jesse, and we have a full Club Venus reunion for this Stardom show in Philadelphia.
No, how's there no Jesse? Is Jesse going to be at Spark?
I don't know, dude.
It
Jesse
would be.
is awesome.
It's crazy she wouldn't be there.
Jesse's awesome. I'm surprised. I saw the mark I am for like Club Venus mark when I went to like that one Spark show, and I thought I was standing in Jesse's line. And then I looked, I'm like, wait, I'm not really talking to her. So just went over, started talking to her for like a half hour. I'm like, I thought I was in her line. I was in like some Tokyo Joshi wrestler's line that was like out the door. I'm like, why does no one want to talk to Jesse? Jesse's like a way bigger star.
And she speaks your language. You can talk to her.
Yeah, everyone else is like, which I'm not gonna make fun of everybody. I'd probably do the same thing. But I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah, so you sign this. No, my name is Bob. Oh, yeah.
Do you bow?
That says
You're like
that says that
post it.
my name is Jason. She signs like Bob, and you're like, oh, thank you. $45. Thank you. Should I? And then
I did notice something. I jumped ahead just to see they don't have they have this week's card up for the wrestling matches. I wonder how they're if they're going to stick with the upload schedule if they're not going to be in a hurry since they're not racing against the pay-per-view. And you'd be surprised to find out that Julia for some reason is still wrestling. I thought I've already seen the last of her twice.
she doesn't. Julia doesn't die.
She just won't go away. Get the fuck out of here already. Jesus. What are you trying to prove?
It says there was something on here in this article. Oh, maybe. Oh no, it was the actual Stardom article. Hang on. She
While
is.
you're looking that up, Andrew's gonna make me want to watch Ring of Honor again. Anna Jay versus Mina. What's going on over there? We're gonna have Club Venus and AEW. That's what we're gonna have.
Dude, I still have hope. I just reread this. So this is goes for Julia too. But for Sakurai, Mirai, and Yuzuki, it says their last match scheduled is March 31st. But for Julia Utami, it's March 31st, and then a Cork and Hall show on April 12th. So that's like a week after the Philly show. So I mean, fuck. Why did it have to be in Philly? Like, if it was in like a place that people actually wanted to visit, like I'm sure Tommy would have been like, "Yeah, I'll take a free vacation to Miami." Basically, like work one show, like get to go to Miami. But it's like she's like, I don't want to fly to America to go to Philadelphia.
Dude, I'm 8 hours from Philly. It's still snowing here. It was 24 degrees out today, and it's spring. All right, like this is what people are traveling to. It's fucking wild. It's snowing where I live. Yeah, close to the same thing. Where are you living? I always forget it. He's like Minnesota or something, right? Midwest Buffalo. It's like we have the same fucking weather. It's so funny.
Minnesota.
Where's Andrew? Should I know where Andrew is? You in the Northeast too? It's probably is he another Canadian? What's going on around here?
Andrew lives where you can pull up to a drive-through and get like McDonald's, like Jack Daniels and cocaine.
Southern
right?
Ohio.
Was that him?
Ohio.
There's Southern Ohio. Yeah, was that
Ohio.
Andrew? Was that Andrew who said like he just there's like places getting shut down because they're just like selling crack out the drive-through?
A lot of those late night conversations, I would start after midnight, start drinking a couple of beers or a shot, so I don't remember all of the nitty gritty. So, although I want to remember that.
What is this? Victory commemorative plate. It's like a, oh my god,
Can you
dude.
can you buy a replica Haddad trophy that says winner?
This, I don't know how big this thing is, but I was gonna say, like, can I want to cut the bottom of this off and just use it for Monopoly. That's what it looks like.
That's that looks cool. That looks cooler than the trophy they gave Hanan.
Oh my god, it's glass. I thought it was like a weird like molded metal thing. It's a glass trophy.
Dude, there is no way that gets shipped here in one piece. That's something that our Jacob Rainbow Warrior would collect. Put it up with his Stardom belts. We'll have to
That's
send him a message. Hey, you gotta get this trophy, dude.
what's the price? Say the price. 20,000 yen.
I want victims. Hey, buddy.
Actually, that's not bad. Dude, that's
What's
like,
20,000 yen? Like $8?
dude, you go to a trophy shop and get like a shitty trophy,
Eight
you have
hundred
to
bucks?
like 40, $50. That's like a custom made thing. Yeah, I heard some of the rumors about people leaving Stardom, and it's like none of them really mattered except for Utami. Damn, that sucks. Whatever. I just get to see more. I'm just gonna assume I get to see more Utami. Oh yeah, dude. The site, by the way, is like freaking awesome. Like, I was like, I told all you need to do is be able to. Well, I guess I just zoomed in all the way. I wish you could click on these pictures and like blow them up. But I've been saying like forever, like, man, can they fix this site so you can scroll through these pictures? Like, these pictures are.
Yeah, that's cool. Their recap stuff is pretty good.
How come Mayu decided she wanted to beat up on your favorite rookie on
Well,
the Cinderella show?
she figured out that her protege, all she wanted to do was team up with Mayu-san, was leaving. She decided to whoop her ass for it.
That's okay. Mayu's leaving too. And like whenever her contract's up. But then she won't be well, I guess, what will she be? The Rossi icon? She can't be the Stardom icon anymore. Who's going to be the Stardom icon when she leaves, Hanan?
Yeah, I think that works.
You see a rookie with a blown up face, and you scroll down, you see Mayu smiling.
Mayu had a blast in that match. She just had so much fun kicking the shit out of her. Every move she did, she just smiled.
Hip attack, hip attack.
It's
This
Spark Show's
move.
in Jersey? I thought they were staying in Philly.
I don't know. They just, yeah, they decided it's good for ticket sales to go the same day of WrestleMania in a different state. They're like, it's right there. I'm like, it's not the same thing, dude. This
New
move.
Japan has a show the same day as WrestleMania, a big show. Their Sakura Genesis, but it's like, actually in the morning.
What are the different styles? Like, there's in Japan, there's like strong style, obviously, whatever that means. It's like New Japan, and then there's like,
Yeah, it's where they say they like sort of like the old guys used to do, and I guess Corny would say in the '70s, just you hit each other hard in safe places.
nah, I think strong styles you hit each other hard in dangerous places and just make it real. There's like strong style. There's like King's Road or some shit like that. There's like different styles of wrestling in Japan. That I'm pretty sure there's like Turtle School, Crane School. That might be
Isn't
Dragon
that the
Ball.
Karate Kid?
I thought that was like, or that's Dragon Ball. But Micah does this move where she just climbs her giant teammates
That was Mina. That was awesome.
like a tower, gets on top of their shoulders, and then just like falls on her opponent, and she calls it Micah style.
Wasn't that Mina?
I mean, Mina style.
Mina style. We're training Mina style. Mina style is wild.
Mina style.
There's so many good people. It doesn't matter if we lose one or two. It's time for Lady C to be the icon.
I can dig that. So you got 3 people who can speak English in Hanukkah. I just wanted to see if Xena. She's usually pretty funny. I like that they film these like while people are just doing their entrances, like right after their match.
Yeah. I used to think keep your New Japan away from the Stardom, but they're using a lot of the ideas that they've been doing forever, and God forbid taking the good ones. Just filming
Oh,
backstage real quick, it's great.
this is what I was. I was watching part of that show with or the backstage stuff with you, and notice I'm like, they're doing their backstage interview, and they're actually like framed, so you don't see like the shitty like hallway they're filming in, and they get to see all their sponsors. We're watching that New Japan Cup, and they have one of these one of these backgrounds behind them, but like framed in every single shot, like half of the shot is just like the hallway behind them, like a crappy, like dirty concrete wall with like mold on it. Like, yeah, that makes your sponsors look great.
Yeah. I find that to be the charm too. And their sponsors work. They're the reason I drink Sapporo beer.
Sapporo beer. Try. What's their slogan?
Drink more beer.
It's a good slogan. Oh wait, see if I can see Julia's or just see Tam's blown up face. Definitely need to talk about it. Oh, she's covering it with her hair. And she is crazy.
I saw that too. Kenta. Oh yeah, duh, I saw that too. You were watching it with us. Well, I watched so much wrestling, I forgot who I watched anything with this week. Jesus.
Let's see.
I can't even add up the hours. I binged the New Japan Cup, watched that whole thing in 2 weeks. And then the Stardom shows, that was, what, 2.5 weeks? Fucking so good.
Tam.
The lady says, holy shit, that's Mina. I know, I gotta watch that. That sounds funny.
That's so funny. That sounds hilarious. Oh my shit, that's Mina. Yeah, because Club Venus
A
is
reaction
global.
like that gets people to look that up. No, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, there's
Just because we know it doesn't mean like everyone
like
knows who that is, right? So it's like if the announcer's like, "Holy shit, that's Mina!" All of a sudden you're got to get your phone out and be like, "Mina," and start really figuring out who this lunatic is. Hello, the last fry. I'm a tournament or a sucker for tournaments, man. I just loved it. They were both amazing. I loved both of them. Both with happy endings too, I'd say.
yeah.
Well, actually, with both tournaments, whoever won the main event, I was happy with. I would have been happy with Ami. I would have been happy with Goto.
Winner.
Oh, so nice.
金沢の皆さん大好きチュンチュンチュン
Swag.
I got nothing more.
That's it. I'll put the outro at the end, and where I thank our patrons, Chicken. It's a Stardom fan, and Jake Ebert is the World of Stardom Fan champion. Everything we do, you can find at StardomFan.com. If you're listening on the podcast, our award-winning YouTube links are there. Join our Discord and follow all these crazy people who quack at you. And that's about it. Would you
I'm
like to
about to go
promote
down to
anything?
Taco Bell and give me a Baja Blast.
I have like 3 cases of Baja Blast in my garage right now. I was like, I can't get enough of that shit. It is liquid crack.
Oh, it's probably in there.
Maybe, right? I don't know how you get that fluorescent blue color. It's delicious. Anything you would like to promote?
StardomFan.com, baby.
Good night, friends.